on the bench with you. You're in the way of the recording. Sorry. Go ahead. Stand on those benches. Yeah, okay. Right now, and line up your post camera. Oh, wait till it starts talking.
Bruchim Aboim b'Shem Hashem. Above Rosh Kollel, Harav Agoin, B'Shiyafir will lead the OILAM in Pirkei Tehillim.
Right now. Send 3 messages. You don't want to see what yours starts? No. That's a good way.
Lam natzayach mismoir ledovet Yanchu Adonai b'yoyim tzuru Yisagevchu shayim leha Yaakov Yishlach ezruchu mikodesh Metziyoim yisudeku Yiskoir kol min choyseichu Voilaschu yedashne Yiseilu Yitayim lechu chilvuveichu V'chol atzoschu yemalai Neranenu b'shiyoseichu V'shayim elahayni nidgoil Yemalai Adonai Kol mishaloseichu Atu yudati kyoshi Adonai Meshichoi Yanai mishmai kotshoi V'gviroi si Aisha yeminoi Aile bureichef Ve'aile basisim Ve'anachni b'shayim Adonai Yalehayni naskir Haimu kori v'nefuli v'anachni kamni v'nisoidot. Adonai Hoshiu Amelech Yanaini V'yoim Karaini. Kapitel Mem Wuf. Lamna Tzayach Livnai Koirach Alalumo Yishir. Elohim Luni Machasei Buois Ezru V'tzurois Nimtzu Meyoit. Al Kain lo niru v'homeru retz v'moit hurim v'laiv yamim. Yemi echmeri maimov yirashi hurim v'gavusa yiseilu. Nuar pedugav yisamchi yer Elohim kedoish mishkanai elyoin. Elohim bekirba ba'alti moit Yazreyu Elohim lifnois boiker. Homi goyim uti mamluchois Nusan b'koiloi tumit uretz. Adonai tzvuoi simuni Mizgav luni Eleha Yaakov Seilu. Lechi chazim mifalois Adonai Asher som shamois buretz. Mashbis melchumois at ketzai uretz Keishes yishabayir v'kitzai tzchanis Agulois yisroi buaish. Harbi yedei ki noichi Elohim Urim bagoyim urim buretz. Adonai tzvuoi simuni Mizgav luni Eleha Yaakov Seilu. Kapitel Ayin Tes. Mizmoir leusaf Elohim bui goyim benachlu seichu Timi es haicha el kotsheichu Sumi es Yerushalayim leiyim. Shavchi dumam kamayim Serivo is Yerushalayim leyayin koivayim. Huyini cherbul ishchainayni lag v'keiles levi. Shefoich amoschu ala goyim asher lo yiduichu v'yam lamluchois asher b'shimchu lo yikrui. Altis koluni avoinus ushoinem. Mahir yikadmini rachamechu kidaloini meyoid. Osraini Elohai Yishayni Advar Kvoy Shemeichu Vatzilaini V'chapal Chatoisayni Leman Shemeichu Lomu Yoimri Yagoyim Ayay Elohayim Yevuda Bagoyim Riaynaini Nikmas Dam Avudeichu Hashufich Tubalefuneichu Enkas Usir Kigoydes Royachu Hoisai Benai Semiso Ushayv Shechaynaini Shivusayim El Chaykom Cherpusa Mashachar Fichu Adoinai Vanachni Yamchu V'tzoin Mariseichu Noi Delchu Liyoilam V'doi V'doi Mesabai Teluseichu Kif Chuf Aleph Shielam Alois Eswaina Yelehurim Vayayin Yuvoy Ezri Ezri Mayim Adoinoi Oisai Shumayim Udet Al Yitai Lamoit Ragleichu Al Yunem Shoim Reichu Hinai Lo Yunem Lo Yishon Shoim Air Yisruair Adonai Shoim Reichu Adonai Tzilchu Al Yad Yemineichu Yoim Hashemesh Lo Yakeku V'Yudayach V'Aloilu Adonai Yishmorchu Mikol Ru Yishmoires Nafsheichu Adonai Yishmor Tzayschui V'Yeichu Mayatu V'Yadoilam Kapitel Kiplam Adonai Shimu B'Koili Tiyanu Oznechu Kashivois L'Koil Tachaninai Im Avoinoi Tishmaria Adonai Miyamoit Ki Imchu Aslichu Nafshi Adonai Mishoimrim Laboike Shoimrim Laboike Yachai Yisrael al Adonai Kim Adonai Yachaiset V'haba Yimoi Fidis Yivdei es Yisruel Mikoil Avoinoisa Achayni Kalvais Ligil
We'll be zeichet to be mekabel pnei moron on Rosh Yeshivas in a minute.
video feed. Stand on those benches. Just don't stand in front of the camera on the benches.
Harav Hagoyin Mordechai Shlita will say Divrei Psicha.
We ask everyone to please be seated. People in the aisles should please go to the back and sit down. People in the front should please go. There's more place in the back. We ask everyone for Kvod HaTorah to please be seated.
Bishus Moireinu v'Rabbeinu Rosh HaKoil Shlita Bishus unsere Teire Choshe v'Gest Moronon v'Rabonon Hagoynim Atzadikim More Da'are di Yisrael U'Bagoylo Shlita der Rosh Yeshiva von Salabotke, von Chevron, von Lakewood, von Mor Yitzchok, Bishus Kol Rabbonei Ho'ir, Rosh Yeshiva, wir sind alle überrascht von die größte Schie, was in der Kehille hat solche gewesen, zu seiner Nachsanje, für solche Choshev in der Heubene Gäst, wo sind da gekommen, le Teuves, Keren, OILAM, HATORAH, Beretto von Jiden, von Ashir Koime, von Roye, Manhiga Yisrael, Asher Kol HaDover,
Schuss. Was a Kreuz Shlita. Schuss vor der Mitchell Petterburger. Der gesagt gebrochen. Und gefällt der Scheile. Bei der Kede steht ויפשח אברהם את ידו, ויקח את המאכלת לשחוט את בנוי. Agree? English. In der Kede is written, וישלח אברהם את ידו, ויקח את המאכלת לשחוט את בנוי. ויקרא אליו מלאך השם מן השמיים, ויאמר אברהם אברהם, the מלאך called him מן השמיים, אברהם אברהם, ויאמר אל תשלח ידך לנער, don't touch the נער, אל תעשה מאומו, כי אתה ידעת כי ירא אלוקים אתה, now I know that you ירא אלוקים, וחסכת את בנך את יחידך ממני, you did not withhold your son from me, and that was it. Abraham Avinu, וישא אברהם את עיניו, וירא עיל אחד בשר בקרניו, he saw an aisle in the svach caught up in his karnov, וילך אברהם ויקח את האיל, ויראהו האיל תחת בנוי. It was makriv the oil instead of his son. At this point, ויקרא מלאך השם על אברהם changed from השמיים. The Malach came a second time to Avraham Avinu. ויאמר, בי נשבעתי נאום השם, he makes a shvur בשם הקדוש ברוך הוא. כי יען אשר עשיתו הדבר of the Malachim, after he made the Maisa of the Isle, since he saw right away, Ato Yodat Kirelo Kimato, V'chosachas Minchas Yichot Mimei, he could have given all the brachas at that point. Why did he have to have, what was the significance of having the Isle, and only after the Isle did he get the brachas? Rabbi Petterburger answered, the derech of people have nisyonis in their life, difficulties. During the nisoyon, a person is mischazik himself very much, mischazik himself from b'tochen b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in Yerushalayim, he's mischazik himself very, very much, and then he's zeicha that the nisoyon passes by. What does he do? He goes down to his normalcy. Up and down, and that's his life. He goes up by nisoyon, down after. Up, down, up, down. Rabbi Shlomo Shlita said, that's not the way to live. The way to live is to go up, and when you go up, remain up. Rabbi Shlomo used to say that from Elul, with the Aseres made Tshuva, those 40 days, a person goes higher and higher and higher till this Nisoyan. It was an extraordinary Nisoyan. The Nisoyan Avraham Avinu taught that's an Avla Gedola and an Asl Gomor for such a thing to be that a person should give away his son for Alukus. Ain't that you don't do it. And he had to now do this, something. A person, is Mechaven. This is instead of Yitzchok. This is instead of Yitzchok. He retained his Madrege. When the HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that Avraham Avinu had this koyach of retaining the Madrege, that's when he got that's what to push higher, push higher, and mechazik it and go higher. That's our life, to go higher and higher and higher. And we're coming out tonight. We're coming for the Keren HaOilam HaTorah. The matter that without the Keren, every yeshiva will suffer very much, and many yeshivas and many kohelim might in fact become bottled. Might. That is the situation today. And we're now coming for Keren HaOilam HaTorah to receive money from Balabatim. What a major tragedy it would be if the Madrega of Torah and Eretz Yisrael goes down. The Torah and Eretz Yisrael and that's what we're trying to do tonight. And we're going around to the various places that there should not be. And we're asking people push higher and higher. In that way, the Olam HaTorah and Eretz Yisrael will be saved. And in that way, there will be a tremendous kvod shamayim by the fact that the Olam in Chutz La'aretz realize how important it is Torah in Eretz Yisrael, and they came and they said, we will help. We will push ourselves. We will go higher and higher. And that will be the biggest fight Shemayim. And HaKadosh Baruch you 10. So from this great fight Shemayim that will come out here from Toronto, that will be the beginning of the Gula Shlema B'mheir B'yameinu Amen.
Mireinu Rosh HaYeshiva Hagoyin Rav David Kohen Shlita.
Shus, Rabbeinu Agdolim, Moron Rosh HaYeshiva Shlita, Rabbeinu Rosh HaKoyle Shlita, the Rosh Yeshivas von Lakewood, von Hebron, the Rosh Yeshivas von Toronto, the Marbitzi Atere, the Admoyim, Moronon ורבון ורבי ישראל. Ich will nicht mehr sein mit Worim, noch ein kurzer paar Wörter. Ich sagt jeder Tag in Kiddusha der Sidre, ובוא לציון גויל ולשווה פשע ביעקב נאום השם. ואני זו הסבריסי או איסם אומר השם, רוחי אשר הולכו ודבורי אשר שמתי בפיכו, לא ימושו מפיכו ומפי זרחו, ומפי זרע זרחו, אומר השם מעטו ודוילו. ודה שיילה איז צווי פסוקים, אין עליהם נצוויתר נשאיו, was sie der Scheich ist zwischen die beiden Psukim. Steht die Sidura Grossi Achitzchok, und nach dem steht in Malbim. Und Bole Zion Goel, der Rebischer sagt zu, Bole Zion Goel. Aber Golus Sedom, der letzte Zyklus unsere, wieso Bole Zion Goel geht mir durch tausende Jahren von Redifes, mit Aschmodes, mit Reziches, mit Avoral Das. Wie wird das erhalten in der Bitte unserer Goles? Sog der Novi, Ruchi Asher Olecho, Ruach Hashem ist auf Klal Yisrael. Das steht so mit Tuchol. Aber das ist nicht nein. Dvora Yashem, Yamut Picho, Umar Hashem Atabayelo. Der Teire was dort sagt, jeder do, Moish Yeshua, Yitzhak Hiber, in der Yeshiva sagt Deutsch, in der Loim der HATORAH, das alt äußert Klal Yisrael, in der bittere finstere Goles. Der Mitzvah beteure eure Teure, das ist unser Kium in der ganze Matze von Goles. Und leider, mir gefinden Sachen Goles, und ist Roli doa Goles, und doi doa Goles, und lo yoid. Wir stehen doch jetzt, die ganze Welt, doch aber was ist der letzte Tag von Chevle Moshiach, der Goyen sagt, wie sie nennt sich, die Geule wird schwerer der Chevle Moshiach. Und von der Simonim von Chevle Moshiach, was steht in Gemorah in Ksues, durch Shemer David bo, Kategorio bo betamid Chachomim. Sagt Rashi, אז no Mastinim und Mekatrigim und Melamdim Choivo. Gzeiro steht dort in Rashi. Das sieht Reache, weiß das ein Sach, was Klal Yisrael gesagt halten der Teire und Rachmonen Islam. Was sie geboren am Matze, was Chas v'Sholom, die Yeshiva ist wirklich gekannt halten in Eretz Israel, und Eretz Israel ist Kimitien, Teitze Teure, und Hashem Yerushalayim. Kern HATORAH hat sich untergenommen auf sich, letzte Jahr, sich halten, OILAM Yeshiva ist in Eretz Israel. Sie werden aktiv של שמיים שאין כדור מוסר. סימן שאין הפה יכול לדבר. גרוני zu verstehen. ומתו, בכל עיר בעיר, בכל קהילה וקהילה. Menschen sich zugestellt, mit dieser Avastere, mit dieser Messias, die Heules, über die Heules. Und alle seien Schutef, in meinem Seite Klal Yisrael, in meinem Seite in Eretz Israel. Es ist doch ein gewaltiger Kiddush של שמיים, was nur solche wenn von der Linie. Das ist Avade und Avade. Das ist unser Klach Hakio. Wer wird gebringt? Da in Amerika, in Kanada, als OILAM HATORAH, wird die Koyach Harha, wird starker, aber so man so Salakim, wird die Koyach HaTorah starker. Und das ist unser Tafki, das ist unsere Achise, zu halten, in einem Mitzvah beteure Euer. Ephraim in המחזיקים בו, וסומכר בראשו. ושתיתר כידוע, רב חיים הקודש ויקוזר הקודש, התלסת גאולו יזיין, בכוחו של משה רבינו לסיכוח התוירו, מתכוח התויר מזיך זין והגאולה עתידו. פתאום יבוא לכל העודן אשר אתם מבקשים, אז יש שתיתר לנובי. אז פתאום יבוא בתוך גזר קרצר הבלט, קרצר חיבר, הגנצה בלט. Aber unser Tafkid Yossi Malivoi, Piton Yobe Lecholoi. Und das ist unser Raboi, der Yitzhak am Nafzach zureden, in die Tag. Und man jasse oder wie Notze Mechem le Mashiach, jasse es Batoiro, wie Gulus Chazori, Shel Toiro von Israel, Shel Gulus Chazori von Israel. Das ist der Koyach, das ist der Kiyum und der von Israel. Und kein Messias nicht. Das ist nicht noch kein Messias.
Vayishmu es koil Hashem Elokim mesalech b'soich hagon l'ruach hayoim. They heard the koil Hashem. What did they do? Vayischabe ha'odam v'yishtoi mipnei Hashem Elokim b'toich eitz hagon. Vayikro Hashem Elokim elo odom. Vayoim eloi. Ayeko. Where are you? Wie der Medrash teacht, Ayeko, wo bist du? Wie haltst du? What are you doing on this world? What are you here for? This is the koil. If somebody hears it and is misboid and he thinks about it, he can turn the whole bria over in one day. A yid has to think, why am I here? Am I here in this world like a miracle? I'm just going through the motions. I'm just here beregilis. I was sent down to this world just to exist, to consume so many truckloads of chicken in 120 years and so many cases of soda. That's what I'm here for? Or does the Yid realize I'm not a miracle? I'm not an Odom Rogel. I am a neshama. And I have oil in my neshama that's mavik umeir misoifo oilam v'ad soifoi. And that's the reason my neshama was brought to this world. Every single Yid was brought with this mission, with this shlichus. And the Gemara says, Chayev Adam loim. What does it mean, Shivnei Oilam? For me to take, it means the whole world was created to give me something to illuminate, to light up, to be mayor with the Heilig and Neshama the Eibishter gave to me. Ayeko. If a person would think about that, would change his whole perspective, his whole vision, his whole understanding of his life. Hayoim b'koilo yisishmo. If we would hear that and think about it, we would know what we could accomplish. The Mishnah says in Avos, we learned yesterday in the Mishnah, Hakoil tzofui v'reshus nisuno. And the Rambam Pirush Mishnah says, this is talking about the Kasha B'Yidiyam Bechira. Hakoil tzofui. Everything is seen. Everything is preordained. Everything in the world is immutable. You can't change anything. So what's the purpose of life if everything is determined before? Zog the Mishnah Afal Pikeina Reshus Nisuno. The tachlis of a human being. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created so many brias. Malachim, Srafim, Voifanim, Horum, Ugvois, Yamim, and Ahoros. From the greatest creatures, the greatest bruim, to the smallest, tiniest killer beings. Not one creature in all of creation has the ability to choose, has the koyach to make a bechira, to choose to do the right thing. Only two entities in creation have the ability to make a choice. The Rebbeinu Shel Olam and we who were created b'tzelem Elokim. Hakoil tzofui. Everything in the world is going to happen the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. What are we here for? Ayeko. I am here to be great, to be an oil. I am here to choose the correct choices. And everyone is faced with different choices. And maybe they don't look so earth-shattering. They don't look like they can make him famous, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows. And when a person chooses wisely in the world of HaKoil Tzofui, that's the greatest event in all of Bria. It shakes heaven and earth. Avraham Avinu, they've told him, "Vagadlo shemecho, go lanos letovoscho." Avraham Avinu wants to do it lanos letovoscho. The Rambam says Avraham Avinu was a asking, if my eyes has been dimmed, it's not shining, I ask Mechilim, from now on I'm going to make it shine. The Torah is begging frantically, where are you? I need you for my Torah. The Gedolei Yisrael, our Lebedik Sifrei Torah, we took them out of the Aron HaKodesh in Eretz Yisrael, and the Yeshivas HaKdosh is where they are. And they came to Chutz La'aretz to be Mesaviv in the Ayoros, to be Mesaviv in the Kehillas, and go around. We should look at them, and they are representing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Koil Hashem, saying, Ayeko, where are you? Do you understand that you're here because you can do something for the Torah? Or you're going to be here as a Meragel and not hear the Koil Hashem, the most powerful Koil Hashem that there is. There's an Oilam HaTorah, a Heilig Oilam HaTorah, Meyuchid in Eretz Yisrael, which is Tachlis HaBriya. Imagine it says that Birchas Koyanim, the Shoirish of Birchas Koyanim, comes from Matan Torah. Koy Sevarechu, and there it says, Koy Soimel Bes Yaakov V'Sagel B'nei Yisrael. What does Birchas Koyanim have to do with Matan Torah? The Pasuk tells us if someone is Ma'akiv, the Matan Skuna doesn't give to the Koyanim, is Soifoi, Shteitach Soifoi, that'll be bought to the parish of Soit, have to come on to the Koyan to go to drink the Mayim Amorim. What's the Shaykhis? Steht hanifudike Sachdon. A person looks at the Kohanim, and sometimes it's difficult to understand. What are they doing? They're not working, they're not helping. Okay, I understand. When I go to the Beis HaMikdash, these Makriv come, I have to give a service charge. But every step of the way, I take out my private behema schulin, I shecht it, and the Kohen is here. Where's my Israel Chaim V'Keva? Where's my Reishis HaGeis? I assume it's my private business. Wherever I go, he's got his hand in my pocket. Look, if you have that attitude, you know what's going to happen? There'll come a situation, Rachmana litzlan, your family is about to fall apart, and no one in the world can help you. No one, no therapist, no marriage counselor, no one can help you. There's only one person who can help you in such a situation. You come to a matzah on the Parsha of Soita. Only the Kohen can save you. It'll become clear to you how we need the Kohanim. Not everybody has the schus to be able to appreciate the Oilam HaTorah. And especially in Eretz Yisrael, if you weren't at Kabbalas HaTorah, or if you don't live with Kabbalas HaTorah, there's different languages you can hear, like in this week's parasha, Lama Tisnasu, Alam Hashem, Kal Hashem. Rav Lochem B'nai Levi. You're sitting and learning, and they're going and fighting. How could you explain it to a secular person? Takya. Versteht nicht besser, aber he doesn't know better. How could he understand it? You can't. But we can understand it. When we know that everything that we have is coming from the B'nai Torah. Every bit of protection, talking about all the nisim and the floors that you saw in Eretz Yisrael, all of that is coming from the Heilige B'nai Torah. Who are being moisen nefesh, l'revavois, say it's such a big tzibur, it has to be so big. Yes, because if you understand how big the sakana is, doesn't make any sense there should be protection from such an unbelievable sakana. There has to be something so extraordinary, such an oilam HaTorah that there's never been before, in order to protect Klal Yisrael and to bring bracha to Klal Yisrael everywhere, all across the world. We know that. We know that the Birchas Koyanim comes from Matan Torah. Do you have any idea of what's happening there? Rabbi Yisrael in Eretz Yisrael, there's thousands of Talmidei Chachamim Muflogim that we can't even have a hasogim in them. Kedusha, Edelkeit, the Heilige Ede of the Loimdei Torah in Eretz Yisrael. You heard there's an organization called, a very chashuv, it's called Adapt the Koilim. And they put together hillis with different koilim. And I heard one of Adapt the Koilim says he paired a certain kehillah, together with a koil, a very choshev, a very wealthy man in that kehillah, and he wasn't too excited. He didn't like the whole concept of koil, but everybody's giving, he's going to give. And he gave a nice amount, what was expected, but he was never happy about it. He was in Eretz Yisrael, this manal was there, and he makes his business. He wants always to show, I want to show you the koil that you support. He didn't want to go. I don't have to say, no, I want you to come. Finally, he dragged him down there. He walked in to this koil, and he felt like he's walking into Gan Eden. The limud, the hasmoda, the ziskite, the tahara, the simchas hachayim. He mamish felt so elevated, so inspired. And he went and he said, I see what I'm supporting here. So he told her, Shekoil, it's before Yom Tov. I want to do something for the Koil. I want to do something. It seemed like they're already, people who are married quite a few years. Probably their furniture is by now old and broken. It's not good a young man should come home and the bed is broken, the Srom Shank is broken, the table is missing a leg. It's not covered. I tell you, I want anybody to come to you and the Koil says that something is broken, I'm going to buy him new furniture. So the Shekoil thought I heard this from the Balamais. He called in 25 Yingalite. And he said, there's a Yid from America who wants to buy you new furniture. And every single one after I said, what do I need and I don't need? I'm fine. Ich darf es nicht. Where did this come from? From uns der heilige Teure. There was a Yidam Arbetz Teure who one of his neighbors wanted to build out his deer. It meant a lot to him. He could have an extra room. He blocked down his window. And others also. So he came to this young man. Said, I'm blocking you. He wanted to offer him a large sum of money to allow him to do it. Why? I should take just a large sum of money. The hezek to me is not a big deal. By you, it's a huge revach. Because now I have you and you'll give me whatever I want, I have a right to take it. We have to think to ourselves, Ayeko, how often do we become mamish? We lose our tzuras odom and it comes up $1. Asich sich mit dem, mit jenem. Ich kenne der Meise mamish von einem Mishpoch who's close. A Koilinger man in Lakewood, whose wife years ago had a store of clothing for women, robes, whatever it was. There were only 2 such stores at that time in Lakewood. And there's a thing in this business called when the season starts, you have to redo everything. You have to take out all the old merchandise, bring in the new ones, and you have to take everything. So it's a very big avoid. Anybody who's in this line knows that starting the season is a very big avoid. Just when she's starting the season, her son was in a terrible accident. He was in a coma. She's in the hospital. When she comes home, there's a knock on the door. Who's here? Her competitor, the other woman who has the same store. They said, I know you're unable to change over for the new season. I'm going to do it for you. You sit in the hospital. I'll take her. Then I'll take care of it, all of it. And she spent 2-3 days in the store preparing her competitor's store to be ready for the season. Torah makes a different type of person. The Heilige Chofetz Chaim, that between the wars, many of his children got displaced. His Einiklach, one of Chofetz Chaim's sons, right? He doesn't even know where his children are. They were all over, and many got left behind. They were swallowed up in the communist system. About 60 years after the war, Chofetz Chaim's granddaughter, she says, Yoren Lang in Russia, came to Eretz Yisrael. And she came with another cousin, and the Mishpacha, Chofetz Chaim's kinder names, when Eretz Yisrael, they made a Kabbalah Sponim. And they asked her, what do you remember from the Zayda? I used to go all the time. He used to come visit us. I once said to him, he asked me, what are my plans? I said, Zaydinke, I'm planning to go to university. He said, Voss, Abbas Yisrael, like you should want to marry a Ben Torah, build a Torah Shtub. She says, no, Zaydinke, I don't want to live in the darkness. I don't want to be like you. There's a world filled with light, filled with knowledge, and I want to be part of it. I want to take it. Zaydinke, you should leave the darkness and go there too. And the Zaydik said to me, Gittele, I want to tell you something. You see, it was after World War I, all the planes fighting, flying through the sky. There's nothing. There's going to be a time you're going to have planes, you're going to have machines that will be able to go to the Levant. You see all these bombs that they have that can destroy entire buildings? They advance so much that the Chofetz Chaim, they're going to make bombs that can wipe out entire countries. And the advances in technology are going to be so great. But one thing they'll never be able to do, they'll never be able to make a better person. No Torah can ibamachen a mensch. The more they'll advance, the lower they'll become, until they become a time where they'll be like animals in the zoo. And she said, Ich habe gewusst, the Zaydenke was a tzaddik. I knew Talmud Chochem, but I didn't know that he's a Novi. Now, 60 years later, I see that he was saying exactly what's going to be. What do we need to do, Rabbi Yisai? We need Mesiras Nefesh. The Bnei Torah Eretz Yisrael are Moser Nefesh. For Limud HaTorah. Bedachkes, Banias, Veret, von Aluxus, to my people who never in their lives ate a gourmet meal in a restaurant, never spent a night in a hotel, ever. They're being Moser Nefesh. We have to be Moser Nefesh. The Ashirim have to be Moser Nefesh. People who aren't Ashirim have to be Moser Nefesh. Let me give something more than I thought. Let me give something, I'll feel a pinch. Because as the Chofetz Chaim said when he was going round and round, Ot Geiter, du bist great. Ayeko, where are you? Are you here now when Klal Yisrael needs you? People are afraid. Somebody told me about a big veer. He said he doesn't want to give Keren HaTorah. It's a bottomless pit. It's never going to end. They'll come this year, that, you never come. It's a bottomless pit, never ends. Does he understand that the Abish, this bank is also a bottomless pit? The Abish is mashpia, such broches, such shefa, in times when business is bad. All of it comes b'schusam from the Heilige B'nai Torah. We're not saving them, they're saving us. They're our entire source of chiyas. I told recently over a Ma'aseh, Shengehede Ma'aseh, a Ma'aseh Nifle. There's a goin, Sheshiva Eretz Yisrael, a Meir Heisler. He gave out now as a chroinus, he knew all of the Gedolim for the previous generation. He called the Ma'aseh, there was a Yid, whose name was Moshe Weiss. He was a Talmud Chochem Muflig, Ungarish Yid, who lost everything, Nebuch, in the Holocaust. He was such a broken soul after the war. Said Mengele made experiments on him. He broke him so much he was never able to have. And he said he came to America in Toshin Vav in 1946. I was so broken, I couldn't come to myself. I had nothing. I was sure, I believed the Eibishter hat uns abgelost. Enough. He's not with us anymore. How could such a thing happen? Still kept Torah mitzvahs, so Talmud Chochem Mufli. And one day I was learning Tzebrach, and I doing Besmedish, I was learning Besechta Erevin. Shvere Sugyas, and I had a difficulty. I saw on the shelf a Sefer, Chazon Ish. I never heard of the Sefer, didn't know the Sefer. He didn't come from those parts. Chazon Ish 1946 wasn't yet so renowned in all different killers in Klal Yisrael. And he opened it up, he said, "This is what the Mazai Lichtig gemacht, the Sugi, he mamish couldn't believe it. And he went over to a Yid and said, in which Tkufa did the Mechaber live? He was sure it was Ledor of the Shach and the Taz. He said, no, the Yid leapt heim in Bnei Brak. The Mechaber from this Sefer is alive in Bnei Brak. He said, I got up, I went into a corner, and I stood there, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. I couldn't stop crying. Rebbeinu Shalom hat uns nicht übergelost. If there could be a Yid in our generation who can write such Torah, that means the Eibush is still with us. And so we can say, Rabbi Sa, if you look at Azah, Heilig OILAM HATORAH, with such a smother, with such kinyoni HaTorah, with such anivas, with such shiftless, with such le'machzik tivusel and nafshe, that the biggest chiyas for us, the Eibishter is mit uns. We have to look with a mabbat of Yoshe. We who have the correct eyes, we know we're not being protected by the Iron Dome. Protected in HaPorah Sukkah Shalom Aleinu Kalambo Yisrael Val Yerushalayim. But what's the reason for that? There is a dome covering Eretz Yisrael, not an iron one, a paper dome of tens of thousands of Blette Gemara Toisus, of Rashba Ritvar, of Kivegek Tzois Nesivas that are covering Eretz Yisrael for the Mesiras Nefesh of these heilige B'nai Torah. And all the papers and all the preparations for different classes that the Noshim Tzedkanias are teaching again and again to be Mechanech Hador, that's also there. And then all the spreadsheets of those who are working in the office to support their husbands sitting and learning Torah, they're also there. That's what we see. We see the Heilige Lechtige Kinder, Zise Yiddische Kinderlech, whose dream, they don't talk about money, they don't talk about who made so much money in real estate, they don't talk about, that's not their subject. They talk about Torah and Yerushalayim, and the Meidlach Tznuos, Heilige Edel and Neshamas, they are protecting Eretz Yisrael and protecting us. And now the Eibishter is saying, it's not enough. Those Blette Gemara, we need more protection. We need more paper on the dome. We need the tzedakah of the Yidden and Chutz La'aretz. We need the dollars and whatever denominations there are to protect Acheinim Yisrael b'chol makom, as Moshe was saying, because we're in Sakana everywhere. The Sinis Yisrael is unprecedented. Heilige Teire Yidden. Mashiach means the Yom Adin HaGadol V'Hanoir. That's a scary thing. Yom Adin HaGadol V'Hanoir. So stay. Yom Boya Katanah Bid. What Tzadikim have told us again and again. Mashiach is a good Zach. The Eibishter, the state of Yigaleinu Berachim of Shemis. The Gula is going to be a Gula with Rachman. We say every day by davening, Umevi Goyel of Neiv and Neyem. Leman Shemoi Be'ahava. The Gula is going to be a Gula Be'ahava. The Eibishter is not Bob Betrunyim B'riyosov. The Eibishter knows the Nisyonis Hador. He knows the struggles. He's the one who created them. Avada Kodesh Baruch Hu is not Mevater. Mevater is Shum Chet, but our Chatoim, that means the Eibishter that get Masacha Achrachne, Masacha Hav. So where's the Yom Adin HaGadol V'Hanoir? What's the pach? What are we afraid of then? Fear is something else. The Beruchim writes in the Shmuz, he says, how is it going to be? Mashiach has to be a person who's alive. So there's going to be a person who lives amongst us in Tovshin Pei Hei. It's going to be Mashiach. And there's going to come Avram, Yitzchak, V'Yaakov, the Rishonim, the Nevi'im, Tanoim, Amiroim, they're all going to dance around the person from our generation. He says, Hashem Kivinu Loi. How's it going to work? He says, we have no concept. Oil is measured lefi the goydel hachoshech and lefi the chashchis and the nisyonis of today's world. The oil that's boikeach from an erlich yid is so great, is so extraordinary. And he quotes the Medrash in Kayeles. The pasuk says brings the Ayoda Hakoyin. The Ayoda was nigid la'aron. Says, how could it be? Aaron the Chabchina, Aaron the Choyid. The others, many generations later, it's like the Medish. If Aaron would have been in the door of Yoyoda, he wouldn't have been as big as Yoyoda. The Beruchim used to say, he told Bocherim, so sometimes a Bocher is horving, try to understand an Achron. And Sefaltim Nishtain, he's so tzibroch and he can't understand that he is be'emes, and I talk about it more, but I'm afraid to become Balei Gaiva. We have no musig what we are accomplishing and what we can accomplish. The Riyakodesh said to Reb Chaim Vital in his door that the avoid the lefidos nisyonis is higher than the avoid of Tanoim and Ameroim. Und wer redt in unser door where there's so many nisyonis, hundreds of seconds, tired of Bachrim, tired of Kinderlochiol here. The Eibishter gave the sign of technology to poison our souls. Do you have any idea each time you misgaber, each time a Yid watches his eyes, watches his ears, each time he's a chazik, he created an earth that's bigger than anything in the world. And we're going to see what we could have been. What we had. We decided so close. So easily. I could have given more. I could have learned more. I could have davened more. I could have been kinder to people. I could have had better midas. I could have been a bigger honor. The Eibishter giving us this time just before the Gula. Famous word in the Kodesh Samagid says, Abi Mochas HaShabbos HaShviyas Tisbru Chamishim Yom. Person didn't use the whole Svira, the last day Tisbru Chamishim Yom. In these last final moments before the Geula, we can be masakin everything. We can become so big. We shouldn't have to go through that tsar and say, look what I could have had. Look what I could have been. Look what I could have given. There's going to come soon a time when money will be worthless. Worthless. We're throwing it out the window. Say, I could have saved the world with it. There's going to come a time when we're going to see how big we could have been, and how big we are, and how big an Erlich Yid is. And don't take it lightly. I tell you, Bachrim, you think that when Mashiach is going to come, you're going to be pushing to see Reb Shimba Yechoy. The Tanoim are going to be pushing to see an Erlich Bacher from Tavshin Pei. Sollen uns der Eibishter helfen. Be zeiche to the Gili of this oil. We should be zeiche to see our oil. To hear the Koil Hashem, Ayeko. Not to live like Meraglim, but to live like Neshomas Gvoyas with a Tachlis and a Yid. Designed for greatness, designed to be the Ois of the Torah. The Eibishter will give us Siyata Deshmaya. And we'll see Bekorah, B'Yeshuas and Shal Yisrael, B'Nechamos and Shal Yisrael. B'Pias Mashiach Tzidkeinu B'Meher B'Yameinu. Amen.
Wir gebeten singen a Bruch. Mein Bruch sagen sie nicht haben. Sitzen lernen mit alle Bruches. Der Eibische gibt jeder Jeder zu helfen, klein ist so. Wir sagen in das Bruch, 5 Millimeter. Gott.
Amen. The entire Tzibur will now have the opportunity to be mishtachef in any way possible to the Kernel Matorah to save the yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael. There's pledge cards on every seat. Checks can be made out to JHF. Outside there's a table with a credit card machine. You can give over the pledge cards to the Bachrim sitting on the table. Tiskele mitzvahs, yashikoich. Good to be menachana.